Okay, so as you can see, what we just saw a couple of minutes ago, which as you can see, that was the RAF Airbus Atlantis A400M we've just seen. What we just saw coming earlier on, that was the Royal Air Force Atlas Airbus A400M we've just seen, which I just saw a couple of minutes ago as it was flying past near my house apparently, which obviously for some reason he's just came for a very low pass as he was at 7,725 feet from there anyway. And then just from here, as I was running up to the top, he was literally passing over Honey Wigwood National Trust as he was dropping down at 600 feet from there. And then just from there, he passed over Miley Bridge at 5,000 feet from there. So basically, as you can see, that is the what I call the Royal Air Force Airbus A400M, which this is the one that's based down at RAF Brights Norton anyway. So this is basically the one that's based at Brights anyway. So as you can see, this call sign here I've not seen before is JIGSW98, that is. Obviously this one here, that kind of does shows that sometimes when it comes into Cornwall it goes to the north side of Devon sometimes, because obviously for some reason I've never seen that call sign before, which obviously this is the first time I've ever seen it on the A400M for the first time. But basically this is one of the basically I think this is one of the UK military transport aircraft apparently. So yeah, basically this is one that's based down at Brights Norton apparently. So this is where it's just came from anyway. So but let's have a look where he was to start with. So basically, as you can see, he took off from his base to RAF Brights Norton earlier on. Just at, as you can see, it took off from Brights Norton just after 3:15 PM anyway. So it would have been around that time anyway. So it took off from his base to Brights Norton just at 3:15 PM anyway. And then just from here, as you can see, it passed over. As you can see, it passed over RAF Fairford, and then just from here, he was then somewhere over, just passed over, just somewhere near Downham Market, as he did a low pass there. So as you can see, this is where he just, well, currently passed over to, just over by Peterborough apparently. So as you can see, he did a low pass just over by Peterborough and somewhere near Crowland apparently. So somewhere near so basically just somewhere near Crowland apparently. So basically he flew past there, and then literally he then did 2 loops just over, as you can see, he then did a bit of a circuit just at RAF Slinton apparently. So basically he's done 3 circuits just over RAF something over there, but obviously this is one of the airfield I think anyway. This is where it's been trained to, just over by RAF Slinton apparently. So and then just from here past Nottingham, and then just you can see then he climbed back up, just then passed over Northampton, which obviously then he then passed over Gloucester apparently, as you can see, then passed over towards Gloucester over by Cheltenham, and then just from here he then passed just over towards Wales from there, and then just from here he passed over just near Swansea, and then just from here, as he was coming into North Devon, he then dropped down for low pass as he was currently dropping down over to North Cornwall. So basically he came into North Cornwall, as you can see, passed over near Pastow, New Quay, so past New Quay, past Holywell, past Poundporth, so basically just over on the north coast, and this is where he was aiming up to. So as you can see, it passed over St Ives, and then So, and then as you can see, he then went down over to dropped down over to west as he was passing over St Michael's Mount, over by Mount Zion, and then just from here he then he then just currently came here for a low pass, passed over so as you can see, just passed over Brazen Beetle, and then just from here past Idians, and then just from here where it was, he was then flying past near my house. So yeah, so where he is now, as you can see, he's now looks like he's going past over Plymouth. Apparently now going to pass over Plymouth, so hopefully he'll be heading back to his base down at Brize Norton very soon anyway. Hopefully back over to RAF Brize Norton very soon, hopefully, which that's where he should be going back to, I believe, probably back over to Brize Norton. And also the other aircrafts I did saw earlier on, which obviously, basically, because obviously this was the return of the Draken Europe Falcon 20s, which obviously that came to return to do some circuit train over Cold Rose earlier on, which obviously that was the one I saw earlier on anyway. So basically just saw the Draken Europes earlier on. There's only sort of 2 pairs of the Draken Europe Falcon 20 earlier on, which obviously this is the one that just came basically just from Bournemouth anyway, as this is the one I saw earlier on anyway, as he was doing some some circuit training over at Cold Rose, as this is now the time that the Draken Europe Falcon 20 is now back on his training mission apparently, which I can't even tell why. It's just back on his training mission from there, which I don't really get why the Draken Europe is just seen to be back on his training mission, but obviously this is just the return. That obviously it kind of shows that he's returned back to the training mission. Obviously, because obviously since over the last few weeks that it's been having a break for about a few weeks. So obviously this has been about a few weeks now since the last summer holiday. Since over the last summer holidays, the Draken Europe Falcon 20 didn't even fly at the time, or because at the time Bournemouth Airport had a meet and greet at the time with the Draken Europes, and yeah, especially with the Falcon 20 at the time. So yeah, this is where I saw earlier on, which obviously the first one I've seen earlier on, that was GFOAH, and with the call sign Crimson 2, that is. And the other one I did see, which it was GFOAD, which that was the second one I saw earlier on. Also, that's been trained down Cold Rose as well. So yeah, basically there was 2 came down from Bournemouth Airport and then trained over to RNS Cold Rose earlier on. So yeah, so there it is. So you can see the registration on that one. It was GFOAD, and the call sign was Crimson 1. That is. So yeah, so that's basically the call sign from that one anyway. So yeah. So yeah, this is where we now got to see the return of the Draken Europe Falcon 20 earlier on. So yeah, because obviously now, because the Draken Europes are now back in action apparently, so basically the Draken Europes are now back in action, especially now because at the time they're back on train facilities now apparently, especially because now at the time they're now back on training facility now, which is good news. It's good news that they're back on training facility now for good. Obviously it's not quite the end of summer holidays yet, but obviously because I know by the time next month in September I will be returning back to work soon, hopefully. I think it's by next month in September 2024, which is next month. Obviously it's not long until summer holidays is over apparently, which obviously the summer holidays will be over I think the summer holidays might be over, I can't remember what day it'll be on. So I think the summer holidays will be over on Saturday the 31st of August, and then Sunday is possibly one of the first month of September, which it is this Sunday. Well, it won't be, not because it won't be like this Sunday coming, it'll be next Sunday, because obviously not this Sunday coming, next Sunday, which is the following Sunday, which obviously, following Sunday will be the first month of September, and that's when at the time some school and colleges do return back to their normal time, hopefully in September 2024, which obviously because next month I'll be back to work at the time. And yeah, and then there will be times that I will be coming back from work and then probably doing some tracking in the afternoon, because normally I don't finish work till around 3ish at the time. So yeah, especially because of, you know, next month it's a busy life, because I've got a busy life ahead of me. So yeah, that's why, because I can be going around tracking all the time, especially when I'm due to be like off work and all that, you know, which I'm actually okay with it, you know. So yeah, but anyway, that's what we just saw earlier on this afternoon, and that's what we saw a few minutes ago. We just saw the Atlas A400M, which that's what we saw a couple of minutes ago. Then in the Drac in Europe, which that came to INS Cold Rose to do some circuit training earlier on this afternoon. And yeah, okay, so yep, thanks for watching, bye bye.